Just getting started. My eyes on the target. No, no. You're the battles won, still kingdom come. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. Welcome back, Serie A Obsessed. This is a very, very special stream, man. You know, very, very special guests, talking everything Juve, and I'm very happy to do this show, guys. It's been obviously the collab finally here with my brother Gio from the Juve Corner Cast. Gio, bro, it's great that we're finally doing this, my guy. Looking forward to talking to you today about your club. And listen, bro, you know, it's good to be here with you, man. How's it going, man? How you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm doing good, Josh. You know, like I'm really honored to be on the channel. You know, it's like I said, it's really good. Like I said, I can't believe that we're doing this finally. It's finally here, and we have a lot to talk about, especially with Juventus, and you know, especially with the game tomorrow against Man City, which we'll get into as well.
For sure, man, for sure. Listen, thank you so much for your time. Obviously, we were talking backstage, and you know, I just want to say, guys, before we do start, the links, you go to the title, you'll find my guy Jiro's channel right there. If you have not done it already, Juve Corner Cast, make sure my guy's smashing it 500 subs already, and he's only been doing this for a few months as well. So, and I was saying to him earlier, bless up to him, because the support he's showing this channel already, guys. You know, I'm so grateful for it. You know, bringing these people over to mine as well. I'm big at everyone, obviously, leaving your comments down below. If you have any questions for Gio and myself as well, please put them in the comments. But yeah, man, let's get into it, bro. But, you know, if anyone doesn't, of course, if this is your first, people watching this, you know, the first time seeing you, I just want to quickly start with, you know, how you got into supporting Juventus in the first place, and sort of some of the memories you've had over the years, bro. If you could obviously, you know, give an introduction and, you know, a quick brief on what got you in, you know, what made you fall in love with, you know, Juventus, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, what started, you know, me being a Juventus fan was definitely from my dad. You know, my dad was a big Juventus fan, and the craziest thing is that my grandfather, my nonno, was actually an Inter fan, which that's so funny. You know,
Oh,
that my
wow.
dad actually, yeah, my dad loved, you know, the Bianconeri colors. You know, he loved the way that you know, the Juventus was as a club as well, and you know, that also, you know, attracted onto me as well, because I was just like, wow. You know, Juventus is such a historic club, and you know, I just love the players that also joined. You know, the times of, you know, Pirlo, you know, Del Piero as well. You know, there's so many I can name as well. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo when he came as well. You know, big one. You know, the legendary CR7. So definitely that's also a big memory that's transferred, because I remember being actually at a Juventus game here in the States, and that the same day he actually signed for Juventus. So that was so fun. Yeah, and you know, the other thing as well is that yeah, no, I mean, I remember so many good memories from this Juventus side, especially back in the Juventus prime. Man, it was just like, wow, I couldn't even remember, man. It was awesome. You know, and not just that, but the things when we made the Champions League final twice, you
Yeah.
know, the big feeling, the way that we did it as well. Beating Barcelona 3-0 in 2017, and then, you know, beating Real Madrid in 2015 as well. Like, wow, you know, and like I said, it's, you know, it's been a journey, you know, for being a Juventus fan, because there's always been the ups and the downs. So I love it, man.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, bro, great to hear, man. A great story to hear as well on how you got supporting, you know, Juve. And, you know, I've seen your channel, man. I've seen your streams, seen your videos. You're very passionate about your team. You know, of course, I think you speak for the same as many, you know, Juventus fans. You guys want to be back to where you were, where you once were, man. Dominating Serie A, literally, bro, year in, year out. a team that teams with fear in Europe. You know, you go and play Juventus, and the players who you said that you had in the past, you'd fear playing them. So I'm sure you guys will want the best for your club. But let's get into it, man. Let's get, obviously. I just wanted to start with just going back. Start this season. Obviously, you've had the new manager change, saying farewell to Allegri, and obviously Thiago Motta. We will talk about him more in depth in a minute. But obviously, him coming in, complete new system. I guess some new expectations as well. But I just want to quickly start with your transfer window. I thought you started some good players in there. You know, looking at it, Douglas Luiz came in from Aston Villa. Really impressed with him when he was with Villa as well. I thought that would be a really good signing. See Koopman as well from Atalanta, very, very fantastic player. I thought, you know what, they got a very good player there. You signed Thuram as well, I think from Nice. Konassis, I can't never say his name properly. Konassis, I think that's how you say it. From obviously, yeah, that's it, Conceição. Now, I watched that guy when he played against Arsenal in Champions League. He tore us a new one, bro. That guy ripped us to shreds. So I thought, you know what, they got a player there as well. You signed that Monza goalkeeper as well, didn't you? Coming in. And,
Di Gregorio. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. And you also got that Milan centre back, Kalaklu, I think his name is.
Kalulu, yeah, I think
Kalulu,
yeah, from Milan, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Milan, and then you and I saw a few other like youth players. I think you brought in the guy from Belgium, Mambagula, I think his name is.
Yeah, and Bangula, yeah. He's been awesome. Yeah, he's been really good
this season, man. So just quickly talking about your incomings, you know, your signings. I mean, firstly, what do you make of the transfer window as a whole? I mean, and obviously some of the players that came in. I mean, I'll give you my opinion. I think Luiz hasn't worked out so far. I know, you know, he's injured and all this. Koopman, I think, has been disappointing compared to what I watched him at Atalanta. I've been, as always, I think Conceição's a baller, to be fair. But what do you obviously make of the whole transfer window, and you know, what did you rate out of 10 as well?
Yeah, no, I mean, if I'm going to start out with the rating, I would say an 8 out of 10. There was definitely some more pieces that I think needed to be done, you know, for this Juventus side. You know, getting Koopmeiners, I think, was like the you know, cherry on the icing, not to make the Mercato like a 6 or a 5, because if we didn't get Koopmeiners, I think it would have been bad for Juventus, because in terms of quality, in terms of also going forward, you know, we need a player like Koopmeiners, and I think that we did the right purchase for that. Douglas Luiz, you know, he hasn't come to par, but he has shown in the beginning of the season that he has the skill, he has the talent, and I've also watched the Villa games that he played. Definitely has the talent to do what I think could be the turning point of the season for Juventus if he shows up. And like I said, Juventus hasn't showed their full potential yet. And once Juventus does, we're going to be a very scary team, not just in Serie A, but in all of Europe as well. But, you know, like I said, Thuram has been also very solid. He's starting to get in the groove. I think he's starting to also, you know, find his, you know, way into the team as well. Conceição, what can I say? I think he's been probably the best signing that we've done this summer that's actually showing progress. Is definitely Conceição. Kalulu, also another big solid defender coming from a rival. You know, I you know, it's big. It's big. Definitely having Kalulu, you know, and a lot of Milan fans said that, oh, he's not going to do well, this and that, and then even Juve fans were doubting him in the beginning of the season. But he turns out, and I had faith in Kalulu that he was going to do well, because of the way that Motta's style was, and it still is, because we've seen flashes of this Motta team that, you know, like I said, even if we're 10 men down against Leipzig, we could still come back and win the game. Yeah. So that says something as well. So definitely, you know, and everything was going wrong for the, you know, us that game as well. And I remember I was actually watching with my dad, you know, and the craziest thing was that, you know, Luis getting, you know, causing a penalty, you know, and then Bremer and Nico Gonzalez as well. You know, Nico Gonzalez, I think, has been probably one of the most disappointing out of all of them, because he scored a goal, which I think almost every single player that's, you know, signed that's a forward on Juventus now that definitely already scored at least a goal. But
is he the guy who signed from Fiorentina, Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Argentina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought I watched him at Fiorentina. I was really impressed with him, man. So, you know, it's a shame that it's not really working out with him. But No, I think that's a fair rate. 8 out of 10. In terms of your overall window, because there's some, especially that Kobe Minor signing, as you rightly said.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I saw him at Atlanta, bro, that guy was a unbelievable, baller at Atlanta. Absolutely. One of the top players I think in Serie A when he was at Atlanta. It's a shame, like obviously he's not really sort of worked out so far. But as you said, I think it's still early on, man. I think it will get used to the way Amos wants to play, which we'll talk about more later on. Now, I wanted to ask you about the big outgoing for me. One of my favorite players watching, Federico Chiesa, of course. Liverpool, signed this guy. I think he's injured again for them. I think you and I both saw this guy. Everyone saw this guy at Euros, man. Like the Euro 2021, the Euro 2020 when Italia won it. The guy is unbelievable, man. Absolutely incredible. I think the injuries have really played a big effect in this guy. I think the injuries have been the big turning point for him.
Yeah.
As well as that sort of way Allegri wanted him to play in his final season, to be honest. But what is that like for you, obviously, as a Juve fan, losing a player like Chiesa? Is it one of those you had to sort of like, he suffers injuries and he had to move on? Because I think Thiago Motta made it very clear it wasn't part of his plans, straight away. So what do you make of that, Chiesa leaving?
Yeah, no, I mean, Chiesa leaving was definitely, like, like it definitely affected me because it's like, I've seen a player that, was a star at one point for this Juventus side and even for the, Italia for the Azzurri,
Yeah.
and, definitely I would say that injury that he got definitely ruined him in terms of that spark, and, not just the injuries for Liverpool as well, I think it was just time to just, move on because he just, didn't want to sign a new contract, and if, like I said, if, I just feel like that the club comes first before any player. And it really determines if, we had big players also leave, Dybala, we had, CR7 even leave as well. So definitely, I would say that, that Chiesa one definitely hurt, but it's I think also for the better because we have to also move on eventually from these players, and he's almost 27. I think he just turned 27 not too long ago, but
Yeah.
like I said, and he's already had that big injury, so and like I said, he's not even getting any playing time at Liverpool. So people saying, oh, we should have kept them. Nah, I mean, I just think that we just needed to move on from Federico Chiesa, but yeah, no, 100%. It does hurt, but we just needed to do it because it's a new era under Thiago Motta, and he wants players to be fit in his system to do also, tracking back because Chiesa, at the moment he probably thinks that he's a superstar, but now going to Liverpool and not even starting a game, and he's actually he played for the U21.
There we go.
That shows something, and
Yeah, there we go. He got ACL, didn't he, Chiesa?
yeah.
This is a problem. The ACL injury is so difficult to obviously. I mean, I've seen it with myself as an Arsenal fan. We've had players over the past that get the ACL and they're never the same. Like that Chiesa in Euros was unbelievable, bro. He was for me elite in that Euros. Absolutely unstoppable, man. And I had big expectations for him going into Juventus' next season. But when you get the ACL injury, we had it with Jurien Timber as an Arsenal fan, right? Thankfully, this guy's came back and he's firing. But there's also been players over the years. It can define a career if you look at it that way, because Chiesa is, I think the guys Liverpool's massive. But as you said, what's the point if this guy ain't gonna play week in week out for them, So it's like that ACL big effect. But as you rightly said, bro, it's what Motta Motta wanted, and it's what needed to happen. That's what to fit his system. That is the reality of it, really. And it is what it is, But I definitely get where you're coming from there. Now, obviously, looking in overall in your squads before we obviously talk about your season. I look at it this way. I think you have some good players in your current squad, of course. I think you've got some quality there. But it's like, I'll give you the example, right? You don't really have that backup for Dusan Vlahovic, for example, because I know you got Milik there, but you can see that the guy suffers with injuries. You don't really have that backup for Vlahovic, and for me, Vlahovic has had a very good start to the season. He's been bagging goals, but I still think there's times where I've seen this guy be a bit inconsistent. In certain games, if he's not on it, you've not really got that impact sub. You ain't really got that backup to really change the game, if that makes sense. I think when Vlahovic is out, you guys have to play Weah, down the middle, didn't you? Who's more of a winner, So I look at it that way, and obviously your squad depth as a whole. What do you make of your squad? In terms of, I think it's still, this is Motta's first summer. He's gonna have many more windows to improve, but where are you at with obviously like your whole squad depth right now?
Well, I mean, if we're putting at it, before now, now we have players coming back, but before even then, we were in crisis mode.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing is that I've noticed that even with an injured team, in a crisis moment, we still can't lose. And that shows that we are going to be a big team coming up soon, man, because if we can't lose with 10 injuries, imagine what we could do, with the full squad at hand, and in plus reinforcements in January, which I think is going to play big in favor for Juventus, especially with the guys linked, so
yeah,
definitely I would say, Motta, like I said, this is Motta's first, this is his first big club. This is a lot of expectations, of course, coming into the season as well. In my opinion, I think even going into every single season, Juventus is always in the run for the Scudetto. I think no matter what, because even if we were in our darkest moment, we're still in contention for the Scudetto, which that just shows a lot of who we are as a team.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why I think that definitely if for the next couple transfer windows, if we get some reinforcements, we could definitely become a scary team, and also keep our players healthy as well, which has been a big problem. But now our players are starting to recuperate, get back. Douglas Luiz, McKennie, Cambiaso's not injured as well, and also Adzic as well, the young bright youngster as well. So they're all back. So now I want to see what's going to happen against Manchester City, which we will talk about about the tactical and everything in a bit. But like I said, guys, stay tuned for this Juventus, because like I said, Motta's not leaving Juventus. So whoever's saying Motta out, not liking Motta, no, it's just reality, because we have seen flashes of this team against Leipzig, against Marcus Inter over there in the chat. I see you, Marcus.
Crazy 4-4 game, man. That was unbelievable, bro.
But that shows that even with the injuries, Juventus are going to be there to the end. For people that are saying that Juventus are not even going to make top 4, I think you guys are just losing it. But because who I mean, we've seen Juventus over the years with Allegri, and it's always been a Scudetto, like a Scudetto push, but then after that they fall, and then it's like it's over. But with Motta, I like it that you're not doing so well in the beginning of the season, because you still have a half of the season to play. And also because of the Champions League. So, I think that, definitely if we get our players back, get some reinforcements, we could definitely challenge for the Scudetto, because I don't really see anybody winning it so far. Atalanta has been probably the most consistent, but now look what happened today. They lost against, Real Madrid. I watched the whole game. They in my opinion, they did deserve to get points, but it's also, against teams like that you need to come out and you need to win. In order, to get the 3 points. And that's what makes a big team, and that's what makes a small team. So that's why I think that if, overall, if we get, Motta at least 2 to 3 years, Juventus will be back and we'll be Scudetto winners once again. Or even, who knows, maybe go far in Champions League. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure, man. Listen, in terms of so far, I mean, we're going to dive in a bit of your season so far, of course, because I actually thought when you started it, I was impressed in, you was winning games, you was keeping clean sheets as well. And I think, obviously, a big part of that was Blemer. I said it, I was so impressed in this defender, man. I think him and Gatti, they had such a good partnership together. And as you said, I think your, Koloku, I keep saying his name wrong, man. But you know what I mean. The Milan defender who you guys signed, right? He came in and he's been doing decent for you, as a replacement for Blemer. But that partnership there, I think was a big reason why you guys were, keeping the clean sheets. And I think Blemer is such as underrated. I think he's, rock solid, and it's such a shame with the injury now as well. He's going to be out for quite a while. So yeah, I mean, going into the season, I thought you had a very decent start. You was keeping clean sheets, and then obviously over the recent sort of as the season's gone on, you guys are still unbeaten, man. Like I'm still, you guys are still there unbeaten. You've not lost a game yet in the Serie A. I think you lost one game in Champions League against, was it a PSV? I think you guys lost.
Stuttgart.
Oh, sorry, Stuttgart. Yeah, that was it. Stuttgart. Thank you for obviously correct. So yeah, you obviously lost to Stuttgart, but other than that, you guys have been unbeaten. So it's just obviously, I still think too many drop points. You've had a lot of draws this season, but there's a few teams where you drop points where you should be looking at. You thinking, nah. I watched a bit of when you guys played against Lecce, the second half, right? You guys at home as well, wasn't you, in the game?
No, we played away.
Oh, you were away. You guys, you took the leads, 1-0, and then man like Rebic off the bench. It's Lecce. Like, with all due respect, you shouldn't be dropping points to these teams. I think you drop points to, I know you drop points quite a bit, but like some of the sides that, with all due respect, you guys should be, it's Juventus, compared to the other sides. There's the sides that you should be, getting over the line and winning these games. Yeah, obviously, we spoke about the injuries that you guys have suffered, and you man were in a proper crisis as well. So that, of course, doesn't help. But firstly, my first question in terms of the season, what was, because obviously it's Thiago Motta's first, his first season. It's going to take a lot of time. What was sort of like your expectations? What was you expecting going into the season? In terms of Motta's first season, and sort of like, obviously, I know what it's like with Juventus. The motto's win now. Like, you want to win, of course. You're a massive club. You're an elite level football club, yeah. But what is obviously, you're back in Champions League football as well for this season as well. What was your expectations? Was it to get, Champions League qualification again, or was it to push all the way and win in Motta's first season?
We'll definitely start seeing better signs than what we did last season. Scudetto, first year for the new, manager, for Motta. Definitely, I think it would be, a challenge, because he's not, for example, with all due respect for Motta, but he's not like a Conte that he comes in, he has that big impact. I think he's a coach that he knows, he has great ideas of what to do, and he has great ideas for what, to build a team. He's more of a coach that, if you build a team around, the coach and the tactics, he could really challenge for the Scudetto or go far even in Champions League, because, like I said, it's going to take time. For of course, the expectation is always going to be going for the Scudetto, but in reality, as of right now, we have to push for top four unless something, happens in the second part of the season that we're like right neck and neck with, like, for example, Inter or even Atalanta or, Napoli, for example, But definitely, I would say that Juventus, of course, spending a lot of money in the transfer window. A lot of fans are going to be like, oh, we should be winning Scudetto. The Scudetto doesn't work like that, because even if you spend a lot of money, it doesn't mean that you're going to win. It doesn't mean that you're not going to struggle the first year on, because we changed everything. The whole team changed. We brought in a lot of new players, brought in a new philosophy, a new coach as well, because we went from playing counter-attacking football to now free fluid, and possession-based, football, which is also the big key as well, is because we have players like a Bremer, we have players even like, Locatelli, that they haven't really felt that presence of new fluid football in a while, a lot of calcio, in a while. Because, playing under Allegri for 3 years, it's like, okay, you already know what to expect from Allegri, but now it's a whole new philosophy, So, like I said, for all the Juventus fans, for all the people that are concerned about Juventus in general, I think that, yes, Juventus have shown, weak signs, but do not underestimate us, or overestimate us, because, like I said, Juve is always going to be in contention for the Scudetto every single year that we go in, because of the history. We know how to win the league. We've also, and I want to compare a stat as well, is that Conte's first season, 15 draws.
Wow.
In his 15 draws. So we have 9 so far. But like I said, all it takes is to win a couple games and we start having our momentum back, and not just that, but the injuries, right? Then I think we could
100.
become, like I said, we could become a big contender because we're also undefeated. And we also conceded, I think, I think probably the least goals in the league as well. I'm not sure how it is now, but we were at one point,
Yeah.
the team that had the least goals. So that would be also good for, goal differential, especially in terms of conceding. Goals, I think we need to fix our front line because our defense has been very well, but it's our front line that we have to really fix.
Yeah, no, bro. Very, very well said. And as you said, because it's so tight up there in Serie A as well right now, especially on the top part as well. Overall, this season's been crazy. Like, it's been. This is why. This is why I fell in love of watching Serie A over the recent years, man. The competitiveness is on another level, man, compared to other leagues across the world. And I think still because we're in December now, yeah. You still got half of the season left, man. As you said, you got players coming back. You got the January window as well. If you go and spend and get a few more additions in, and I think you guys will be doing that, then you got the whole second half of the season to really go for it, and how tight it is. I mean, teams can drop points left, right, and centre, and it can easily change around. So yeah, I definitely think you guys are not out of the picture. And as you said, it's in Juventus's nature to be in always, man, in contention to go and win the Serie A. So yeah, no, very well said indeed there, bro. Now I want to of course talk about Thiago Motta coming in first season with Juve. Now listen, for me, when I looked at his job at Bologna. I was so impressed, man. What that guy did at Bologna. Obviously, he plays this. Is it the 2-7-2 sort of formation
Mm-hmm.
that that the tactics that he used,
Yep.
which worked unbelievable. Obviously, with Bologna, a team to qualify them for Champions League. He had players like obviously Calaflori now, who's now at Arsenal. I'm blessed that he's at Arsenal, man. I kind of thought he was going to go to you guys. I was kind of a bit worried, but he came to us, and I've been very happy with him. But yeah, obviously Calaflori was balling out. He had Zertsky as well. I know both of them are left, but Zertsky up front was scoring goals for fun for them, and he had a very, very good team in terms of what he built there, in terms of the tactics that he used as well. Like, he for me overachieved at Bologna, bro. To get them top four, to get them Champions League, what an achievement for him. So him coming in, I was sitting there thinking that's a good appointment for you guys, because you're obviously going away from the whole Allegri side of things, and that's where I actually wanted to start, bro. Saying farewell to Allegri, obviously he came back to you guys after the success he had a few years ago. And obviously, he got you back Champions League, didn't he, in his first season back? And then obviously you guys finished runners up last season to Inter as well, wasn't it? Or was it third in the end?
I think we were third.
Third, yeah, no, yeah. So you finished third last season. I know Allegri there. Obviously, saying farewell to him, I want to start there. For you, was it time for a change for Allegri?
Yeah, no, 100%. Definitely, I've always been one of especially in the past, and a big Allegri fan, but I think because of when Juventus tried to move on the first time from Allegri, he didn't come back with the sense that we needed new tactics, we needed new philosophy as well. If you could keep that defensive philosophy that he knows, but I think he really needed to work on the just the scoring wise and the tactical wise of just going forward, and just because like I said, the way that we played, even like the first two seasons wasn't even up to par for me, especially with that. I mean, I'm talking about the first two seasons when he came back. The third season he did very well, but in my opinion, too close to judge, because they were all like, a lot of the games that he won were 1-0. And it felt like even if we were winning 1-0, it always felt like the team could just score, and
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. With Motta, I don't really feel that the other team, could I don't feel that same, especially in the beginning of the season when we had Bremer. I didn't feel that any team was really going to score on us because of how good our defense was. But the thing was also, It's just that now it's a new era under a new coach. I think I respect for what Allegri has done, for the history of Juventus, because in my opinion, he's definitely a part of Juventus history. For ever, he won 5 Scudetti with us. He won 4 to 5 Coppa Italia. He's done so well. But I think it's time to move on. But I just think that Allegri football, even in Europe, when he came into Europe, we lost to Benfica, we lost to Maccabi Haifa, we lost to teams that I'm like, what is that? And I think a lot of people forgot about that are Allegri fans, that we've lost to teams that I never even heard of, And,
Exactly, bro.
And Motta, so far has, I 2 wins, I think 2 draws and like 1 loss, but hey, he's doing good for his first season back. And, for a new philosophy and for a team that, is also the second youngest team in Serie A right now, I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it, because even with the injuries, he's still managing to keep us undefeated in the league, which is, I think, a big achievement. It's a big achievement. And like I said, once we get our players back, I think, and then also the chemistry, because remember, we haven't even had the full team really together. So the chemistry really isn't there yet. And, I also think, which we're going to talk about the Man City game, and I wonder, and there's going to be a lot of tactical things I'm going to also discuss with you, Josh, because there's a lot of things that I've noticed that, and I would have done, and there's a lot of people that agree with me as well, because I think if we do something with the tactics and maybe even with the formation as well, with certain players, I think, in my opinion, are not playing in the right positions to really exceed in this Thiago Motta Juventus.
Yeah, bro, very well said. I wanted to get your thoughts as well on some of the comparisons. There's been a few stats thrown around. I've seen some of you fans, comparing Allegri to Motta. I look at this one. I think it's harsh to do that and people seem to forget it's Motta's. It's his first season. Like, what's all these stats coming out for with Allegri and Motta? But what do you make of these people comparing Allegri and Motta, where it's his first season?
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna be comparing the previous coach to Motta, but you also have to remember, Allegri had 3 years. This is Motta's first year, and the people that are actually comparing Allegri's last season's results compared to his. But in my opinion, if you want to compare, you compare Allegri's first season back and you compare to Motta's, and guess what? Motta has actually done way better than Allegri's first season, because I think the first or second match day we lost, and we lost 1-0 to Empoli at home. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that year when we lost Ronaldo, I understand about that. We were going to lose players in the transfer market, but guess what? We're supposed to beat teams like Empoli, and we lost in the second match day of the season. And, if we're going to compare Allegri's first season back with Juventus and then compare Motta's, and you're going to see even Motta's points in terms of points gathered for this first season are much higher than Allegri's first. So, if it comes to Motta's third season, then you compare the 2 seasons to see let's see if Motta's second season, because I think he's not going to get sacked at all this season.
No.
There's not a chance, because, even if we sack him, who are we going to get? Palladino from Fiorentina? I don't know. I don't think so, because he's on the contract with Fiorentina. It's very hard to deal with them as well, because as we saw, dealing with a lot of Italian clubs is not easy, especially for a club like Juventus. But who are your options? Probably a Ten Hag, which I'm like, please no. Please no. I'm like, please no. But but like I've been saying, if you want to compare Allegri's, first season and compare Motta's, and you're going to see a big difference between Motta's Juventus. And like I said, in my opinion, we are, exceeding, to our potential right now, because, a lot of injuries. So
I look at it, I compare, for me, Motta to a little bit of Arteta sort of thing, in terms of they both were players. Also, remember, Motta's a player as well, and also Arteta was. They both obviously, came in. I kind of look at him as a more, I mean, you have managers out there like, the Contes, as you said earlier, the Ancelottis are out there. These types of managers, they come in and they're elite, yeah. They can turn it, they can win just like that. They're like, win now, yeah. I look at Motta as, similar to Arteta, like it's a project really with Juventus. It's more like The guy's going to need a lot of time. He's going to need his own tools as well to,
Mhm.
to get you guys back up there. And to be fair, the season you've had so far, as you rightly said, bro, like you managed to unbeaten. Yeah, maybe you've had too many draws, maybe you've dropped too many points here and there, yeah. But for him to come in his first season, to obviously, I know what he did at Bologna was exceptional, bro, yeah. But for him to come in and sort of have you guys up there already and even when it's not really his own players, he's gonna want his own, players. He's gonna have his own transfer windows to sign his own players, and at the same time, these players are gonna have to fit his system. And very similar to how when we got Arteta. I mean, you look at Arteta, he actually struggled with Arsenal, like in his first season with Arsenal.
Mhm.
Like the first 3 seasons was a big struggle, but then you look at like the last two. Yeah, we've been in the title race back to back. We've missed out 1-2 points. And that's because, he spent a lot of money, yes, but he had to have his own players. He had to have his own style play as well, his own system. So I kind of see it similar with Motta here, but I feel like he's had a very, very decent start, if I'm being real. But what's obviously your overall opinion on Motta this season? And how well do you think he's done for you guys?
No, I mean, I think that he's done a good job. Definitely in terms of his first season, definitely I would say he's done a good job. But of course, there's going to be a lot of times where even on my channel, I would criticize him a lot,
Yeah.
especially especially in certain games. But I think because it's also his first season, playing in multiple competitions is also taking a toll on him as well. Because what I've noticed is that even when when he was at Bologna, in trainings, it's intensity, intensity, intensity. And I think that's also one of the biggest problems I think that we're having is because of that, where we're getting a lot of injuries. Because of that, I think we're maybe exceeding a little bit too much with the intensity. And I think Motta, after his first season, will realize and he's going to adjust the next season what I think he needs to do. And that's why I think that he's going to be the man to take us for a long time. But also to go back to you with the Arteta as well, which I'm going to actually do a nice comparison as well, is because I remember because I actually watched the documentary of when Arteta was, I think, his first season.
All or
I watched
nothing.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember, he was under a lot of pressure. I heard a lot of fans, saying that Arteta out, this and that, because he lost like, a lot of games in a row. Like I remember it was like 8 in his first season. It was like a
Yeah.
lot in a row, and it was really bad. And for
We
the
were
management
15th, by the way, bro. We was 15th.
yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, no, I remember. In the documentary, and I was just like wow, just like how there's a lot of potential in Arteta, right? And the management saw it, so they
Yeah.
backed him, and that's what I think that Juventus is going to be doing, especially with Cristiano Giuntoli, the sporting director of Juventus. Definitely, I would say is going to be backing Thiago Motta because he picked them out right away. From and like I said, he's going to build a big project around Thiago Motta's tactics, around his not just that, but also around certain players like a Yildiz. That's going to be, I
Yeah.
think, very, very important for tomorrow's game. Coop miners as well, since we now have Coop miners. But definitely when we also get possibly more additions, like for example, there's been rumors about Xerxes, Osimhen as well, coming in place of Vlahovic, which has been the big talk of the January because they're saying a lot of people have been saying, Fagioli, Vlahovic, even Douglas Luiz could end up leaving in January. So we have to make some, like I said, if these players end up leaving, we have to replace them or even double because we need also squad depth, in my opinion, because as we saw, too many injuries.
Yeah, for sure, man. Add some more players in there. As you said, if you get a backup striker as well, if you get another, just not even as a backup, but something different off the bench, or you can rotate a Vlahovic because as much as I think Vlahovic, what I saw of him last season as well, he had a slow start, but then I think he improved towards the end. This season as well, he scored some goals. I still think you have another. Say you have Oshman there, bro. You got 2 quality strikers you can rotate. It would be you bring Oshman off the bench. It's like, or even if you start and you bring Vlahovic off the bench, at least you have something different there. With like a Milik, I don't think like what I've seen of him. He's not a lot, but I've seen him over the years play. It's just can you really sort of like rely on a Milik to change the game? Can you really sort of rely on him in terms of injuries as well?
Well, with Milik, I mean, there's always been a setback between him, and it's always been worrying because it's like if we really take a chance in the January Mercato and we rely on Milik, to come back, I just think that would be a big mistake because we can't rely on just like one player, especially if he's been injured for so long to work out. So I think we also need to find different, alternatives. Definitely get some new fresh. I think we need something fresh. I think and something that could really give us a boost. A big impact. I would say we need something like a Conceição, right? A big impact player. We need somebody that can maybe have some experience in Thiago Motta's system, like a Xerxes, or like who the player that we missed out, like at the one point Calafiori. Because I think if we would have gotten Calafiori instead of Douglas Luiz, I think we would have been way better than where we are now because Calafiori has, already known the Thiago Motta system and what he wants to do, and I think he would also pass on to the other players that are in the squad what to also do in that. And I think that's also a big, at least have one player. Don't be like Ten Hag, getting every single player from the old Ajax team. That's not true. Have one or two players from the old, and then build a foundation around that. You're always gonna have, like, for example, Arteta, when I think it was like in his couple of seasons when he brought in Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. Exactly. He brought in some experience from when he was the assistant at Manchester City to bring a little bit of that winning mentality and that kind of winning that we could that for Arsenal, right? It's the same thing for Juventus. We could we could get somebody that knows, and not just that, but it's also good for tactically against Pep for you guys because they know how he wants to play. So I think that's also good. And that's what I'm saying is that, if we could get somebody that knows Thiago Motta's system that's already played, and for example, one that has already played under him has been Cambiaso, which he's been probably the player of the season in terms of me. I think he's been the player of the season.
Yeah, bro, absolute baller, man. I watch him obviously for when he plays for the Azuri, bro, and guy, man, he's so quality. He can do it going forward. He's superb. Defensively, the guy's rock solid. Overall, he's quality as well. He can fill in a number of roles as well. Yeah, bro, he's what baller, absolute baller for sure. But no, bro, you're spot on, man. Like 100% agree. If you see managers do this, so they come to new clubs and they sometimes look at the old players that they worked so well with in the past and they bring them, exactly what Arteta did when he was assistant. Zinchenko and Jesus came in that first season. They was a big part of why we got into the that title race. It was down to them. So, yeah, 100% agree. And maybe we'll see, Thiago Motta do it with a Xerxes. I don't think he'll do it with a Calafiori because he's ours, bro. But
no harm.
But no, he will sign. He maybe will look on that route as well. But yeah, 100% agree. In terms of he will be back to see him as well because, as you said, very similar situation with what we saw of Arteta at Arsenal. So yeah, bro. Before we move in, because of course we're going to get into the big game tomorrow. At Man City. I'm going to quickly read a few comments. Thanks everyone for leaving their comments, of course. If you've got any questions for us, please leave them down below as well. But yeah, Jaden is in the chat. I said, I've been a few people who, even at the start of the season, did not rate this Juve team. I think they struggled to make top 6, never mind top 4 in Italy. I don't know about that, bro. Look, for me, the Serie A is so tight. Literally, it's mad. There's so many teams on, similar points. It's like one win can change the whole thing. You saw Napoli lose to Lazio. You saw Atalanta win, they're now top of the league. Napoli were top of the league for quite a while. So anything can happen there, man. But I still think you guys will reach the top 4 at least.
No, I think even maybe top 3, top 2. I don't even think top 4 because listen, Lazio, Fiorentina, even Napoli, even Atalanta. Those are the teams that I'm like, okay, they've shown that they could be, and listen, I mean, even Lazio, they lost to us, so it all takes that one loss to really bring a whole team's mentality. Like, look what happened with Napoli. They lost 2 games, not just one, but they've been also struggling themselves to keep up at the top. Atalanta now, they just lost against Real Madrid. I really wonder if they're going to keep up that form that they're doing now because of what's happening. Inter's, in my opinion, too inconsistent. They're not the same team as last season. So, and Fiorentina, they've been doing very well, but in my opinion, they don't have the experience enough to really qualify for even make a title push. They don't. I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? It could be like a magical season, like Leicester. But no, I don't really think that even Lazio, like I said, all it takes is just a couple games, and Juventus, like we're still there. With the injuries that we have, we're still there. All it takes is just a couple of teams just to drop points, and we're there. So
Yeah.
like I said, I disagree with that comment from Jaden because I just think that Juventus has a lot of quality, and once we start to click, all the other teams are going to be looking like amateurs, especially because Lazio not enough experience, Fiorentina not enough experience. If Napoli gets one or two injuries, which I'm just like, get Lukaku or McTominay, gone for like a season, they're not going to be doing the same what they're doing now because as we all saw, even with them on the pitch, they're losing to a Lazio side that we beat. So, like I said, and same thing goes with Atalanta. Atalanta, they lost 4-0 to Inter because they missed 7 to 8 players. That they were all injured. So, and now they have the full squad, right? They have everybody. So, like I said, just watch for Juventus this season because you never know. The only team that probably concerns me because they already have won it is Inter because they already have the experience of winning a Scudetto. They know what winning mentality is. And probably the only other team that, has won something from last season would be Atalanta. But in the Serie A, it's like they do well for like half a season, and in the second part of the season, things happen, and then they're gone. They're gone, and then they're like back to like top 6, which is like I said, it's always been like that for Atalanta. To always do that. It's always been like that. But same thing goes with Lazio. Same thing goes with Fiorentina, especially Fiorentina, because Fiorentina last season, like where are they? Where were they? So
Yeah,
like I
bro.
said, they don't have the experience, I think, other than how Juventus has it, to qualify to at least top 4 or even to make a title push, which we have done in the past. So I think with more additions, get our players back and healthy and ready to go. And then let's see if we get this win against Manchester City. Because if we do, I think it's just going to boost our confidence even more. So, like I said, all it takes is just our attack to click. And watch out for Coop Miners because I said this on my podcast. If Coop Miners just scores one goal, gets his confidence back, he's going to score a lot more. And like I said, we're missing our top guy scoring too. Coop, Yildiz as well, Vlahovic.
Yeah.
And we're, at least we're even tying. At least we're tying. So like I said, once we get our attack fixed up, we have our solid defense. Watch out for Juventus this season because, like I said, you guys might not see it now, but it's always Juventus. Even under Allegri's, I think, 2016 season.
Yeah.
Allegri lost like 4 games in the beginning of the season in a row. And everybody was like, Allegri out, this and that at the same time. And guess what? He ended up still winning the Scudetto in the end.
Won it.
So, like I said, calm down with the Juventus with the Motta out. It's just a work in progress, man, because once this team really starts to really gel, you're going to see a lot of quality. And we're going to talk about the formation, what I think that's Motta's doing wrong, because I think he is doing some stuff wrong from, I think, inexperience wise, because he's managing a big team now. This is his first season. So like I said, he will make Champions League. I think he will, because you also have to remember there's 5 spots if Italy gets nominated for the 5 spots, So I think that if we can definitely hold on and then we get all of our players and we start to click at like the right moment, we could even take advantage of the Scudetto. It all depends on also the other teams. It all depends.
100%.
So let's see.
Yeah,
let's see. I'm down for it. Like I said, for Juventus, the motto is fino alla fine, which means until the end. So
the end.
Juventus will fight until the end for the Scudetto, even if we go for top 4. If it's top 4, it's top 4 for the season. But we will always fight until the end for the Scudetto, and you will see. You'll see.
There we go. Shout out Marcus in the chat as well. Of course, Inter. I wouldn't overestimate Juve. They have shown weak signs this season. Motta did a great job at Bologna, but he's on upgrade on Allegri. Wow. Again, it's a comparison.
The comparisons.
In Motta's first season,
Yeah.
It's like It's like, but look, I hear where you're coming from, Marcus. Bless up to you every single time, bro. But it's like, nah, for me, I give this time. I'll give this, Thiago Motta a bit more time to really, I still think it's taking him a few more transfer windows. And as Gio rightly said, this is Juventus with struggling with injuries this season. This is a sort of unbeaten Juve side as well. Once he gets his own players, once he gets more used to, developing his style of play, he has more time to develop his system at Juve. I think you'll really start seeing the click, bro. But listen, once again, I know there's a lot of people comparing because that's what we do. I'd say it from an Arsenal point of view. We look at Emery, like our ex-manager as well, yeah, and we compare it to Motta, and obviously you see how Emery's doing at Villa right now as well, So this is what people do. I do understand it, but yeah. Now, big up Marcus every single time, bro. Absolute legend there. Forza Atalanta's in the chat as well. Unlucky. Madrid, the 3-2 today. Of course, you guys still took top of Serie A. It's great to see Gasparini doing so well after winning Europa League last season. It's great to see Lategui as well doing bits this season. Obviously, we watch him for the national team, Gio, for Italia, and it's good to see this guy's keeping up his form as well. Because I kind of thought when they lost to Skamaka, I was like, yo, that could be a big blow because how well Skamaka did last season for them. But then they've replaced him with Lategui, man, and he's looking a fantastic striker.
Yeah.
So yeah, big up to Forza Atalanta. I know his English is like my Italian, bro. It's not great. So yeah, bro, I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying my best to learn a bit of Italian, guys. Juve closest number invincible season in Arsenal, bro. We did it, and we got criticised for being invincibles, yeah, because of the draws we got as well. I think we ended the season with like 12 draws in the end. Yeah, but the point is, we was invincible. We won the league and we didn't lose a single game. So listen, you never know, man. I mean, Juve invincible. Oh, bro, imagine Thiago Motta first season goes invincible and wins you guys the Scudetto. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you also look at it, I'm going to make another comparison. You compare also with Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen.
Yeah.
First season, relegation, right? Everybody was like, oh, Xabi Alonso out. But then the second season brought them the Bundesliga and also went undefeated. Except for the Atalanta Europa League. But you went undefeated in the Bundesliga for the whole season with a lot of ties. So, like I said, all it takes is just a little bit of patience, a little bit of time, and also just things have to just go our way as well.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. Chelsea fans in the chat, he says Juventus will beat Man City tomorrow. I'm calling it now. We are going to move into that right now. Just quickly from Plasma as well, he says Konasi South is a baller from what I've heard. Yeah, bro, we watched him against Porto when he played against Porto, man. He cooked us. He absolutely cooked us on that win. Very good player. I knew Motta's project would take a while, but he has to kick off soon before Juve fans start to doubt if this project is the way to go for them. I think that's a good point. I think we've read that one. Good evening to my guy Drew as well in the building. Good to see you, bro. As well. I think this was other chats that I was replying to earlier in the chat. So big up to everyone there. Thank you guys, everyone who's liked the video as well. Really do appreciate it. We'll definitely be collabing. We'll definitely doing more shows together, me and Gio for sure, man. But yes, big game tomorrow, man. Champions League action, Champions League night. You got Man City. Yeah, massive game. It's such a shame because we play it at the same time, so I cannot even do a watch. Like I cannot watch it as well. So I'm gonna miss it because we got Monaco, Arsenal do. But
yeah,
Man City, bro. Man City. You guys are at home. Listen. I've seen them this season. I'm sure you've seen them this season, Premier League, right? They have fallen off. They have fallen off a cliff. Like they lose Rodri, and it all goes pear-shaped for them. He's such a key player for them. They lose him, and it's all in. They've been losing. In the first time in Pep Guardiola's career, that he's had this type of run in terms of like losing and not winning. I think they went like 5, 6, 7 games without a win, and that's the first time Pep's ever done that in the history. So yeah, they're not strong. They're not as strong as they were last season, the season before that. We were seeing the brilliance of Man City, even in Champions League as well. I'm sure you've seen the result against Feyenoord. Yeah, the lead they got, and then they completely bottled it, completely capitulated. I think there's a mentality issue for City. I can really picture you guys get something out of this game. You're at home, right? You got some good news with players coming back now as well. I can really picture a Juve. I can really picture you guys winning this game, bro. Listen, I'm not saying this because you're on my channel today and biased aside and all this. Yeah, I'm saying it because Man City have been very vulnerable this season. They have been beaten by many teams. Many teams have got the better out of them. And even when we went to Etihad, we drew 2-2 of them. But that first half, we cooked them. I'm sure you saw Calafiori's goal as well. Unbelievable goal. Yeah, we cooked them. Yeah, 2-1 up, and then the red card changed the game. So Man City for me have been very, very vulnerable this season. And yes, they got quality there. Of course, they got quality there. If Haaland's on it, he's on it, as we know. But I can really see you guys getting something out of this game. Let me know, bro. Gio, massive game tomorrow, bro. Coming into it, obviously, how confident are you? How are you feeling? And what are you expecting to happen tomorrow night against City?
Well, I mean, if we do from our results, I mean, I did like a little joke on my podcast yesterday. I said 2-2 tie, but then I did it like a little wink and I said, I'll say it for the next stream I do, and it's an next stream. So, I think we are gonna win this game, especially now that we have players back, and also because now Cambiaso's there as well. Definitely, oh man, I think that we can win this game, especially at home, because I think also the atmosphere, because it's a full house. I think that Pep could really get outclassed, or even we could get outclassed, because you never know. Man City wakes up, they're, like I said, they are a really good side, no doubt about it. But like I said, Juventus, if we do what we know defensively, of course, if Gatti can stay on Haaland, if our midfield like Thuram can stay on De Bruyne, same thing with Locatelli. I think we could really, really cause some problems for this, especially for Man City, especially with Vlahovic being there. This Coop Miners, especially coming back into form, especially scoring, against Bologna. We could definitely, I think, really see this Juventus side at least win. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about the score, but I'm also gonna talk about what we could do tactically. The thing I've noticed from Thiago Motta for since the Coop Miners has been definitely, I think he's playing some players in the wrong position.
Okay.
For example, Motta likes to play with Coop Miners at the 10 role, and he likes to play with Yildiz on the left side. I don't see it because, in my opinion, I like Yildiz sometimes on the wing, but I think he's just more of a natural 10 because of his dribbling. He knows how to just get away from those defenders, and not just that, but he just goes at you. And also he's very creative, as we saw. If you watch also the first 2 games of the season, he played in that 10 role, Yildiz, and he did very, very well, especially without Coop Miner's absence. So what I would have done if I was Thiago Motta is put Yildiz at the 10, drop Coop Miners a little bit back next to Locatelli, save Thuram on the bench, put Mbangula on the left, put Vlahovic up top, and put Conceição, because I think that team would change in terms of quality, in terms of creativity. Definitely, it would improve the team, I think, also, because if you have Coop on the ball more, you're going to have more, I think, chances, because he's just a creator, one of the creators of the team. So I think if we use that for tactically, I like the 4-2-3-1. And also what I think that Juventus needs to do, especially from the first minute, which we haven't been doing, I think, this season, and which I need to point out, is the urgency. I want to see the press. I want us to press like how Bologna pressed us, and also like Stuttgart pressed us, because if we press City, take the game to them, I think they would really struggle, especially how the defense has been for them. And we just make them scared because, we're playing at home in front of our fans. So we make them scared. And that's what I'll be telling the players. If I was Thiago Motta, I would be like, of course, I'm going to set the lineup, differently, which I know that he's going to start Duram tomorrow. I know that he's going to put Coop Miners as probably in the number 10 and put Yildiz on there. I mean, who knows? Because he's been very, he hasn't been as open with the lineup as, a lot of other coaches. But I think that if we just look at the whole big picture, I think we could get this win. But at the same time, I still have my doubts because of you never know with the City side. But like I said, if we come out pressing, if we just press them, like just suffocate them in their own half, we could really, really cause damage to the defense. And not just that, but they don't have a natural. In Italy, they say a regista. So they don't have that Rodri presence of getting them out in those difficult moments. They're playing Gundogan there, which I'm like, what is he doing there?
Yeah.
But like I said, going into this match, I definitely see Juventus. I don't see us losing. I just see us either winning or tying again, which would be another disaster. But winning, definitely winning. I could see us winning this game. I could smell it. That's up in the air because it's just like. Vlahovic, I've seen the guys in training because, we post over, the pictures. They're all happy. They all look like they're united. They're all together. That's what I've been also seeing with, this Juventus compared to the Allegri seasons. They weren't together. This season, they're more united. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, facts, right there. As you rightly said, bro, just stick it on them, man. Like, press them high because that's what most teams have been doing this season, and that's where you can really get the better out of them. As you rightly said, you've been at home as well. You under the lights, the amateurs will be rocking. You guys will be up for it for sure. And in terms of obviously like qualification, I mean, you look at this new league, the new format for the Champions League, right? In terms of qualification for Juve, you guys currently sit on the same points as City as well. You're both on 8 points. I think PSG won today, so they're 1 point behind you now in 24th. Obviously, then you got final 25th, and then that's where if you drop below there, you get completely knocked out and wiped out of it all. But a win would obviously take you 11, which will take you near the top 8. So that's how mad it is. Obviously, how mad tight it is. If you can beat City as well, I think you said it earlier, but the momentum, like you would get from that as well. I think that this will be Motta's one of the biggest wins this season as well for you guys. If you go and beat this, and I know that they're not been at their best Man City whatsoever, but they're still Man City. They've still got Pep Guardiola. He's still the best manager there is. They've still got some quality players as well. So if you beat Man City, I think that would be a huge statement, not just for yourselves, but I think for the rest of the Champions League as well, in my opinion. But how are you looking at, obviously, the qualification side of things as well? Obviously, you guys currently sit 22nd.
Well, I think that we have to win. We have to win the next. In my opinion, we have to win all 3. In order to make at least a top 8, we have to win all 3.
Sorry to cut you off. Who you guys got after the final 2 games after Man City?
We have Club Brugge, and then we have Benfica. Which Benfica, we don't have a really good record against them, which is going to be, but I think this time it's going to be a little bit different because, I think we're playing a more, and this is also where we come back for the Allegri, right? Allegri lost both games, home and away, to Benfica, and the way that we lost was pretty bad. So, like I said, Champions League, I think that Juventus will be, we're more better because I just want this game. If this game is open, I think if this game is like really open, which I think that City is going to be doing a lot of this open space, Juventus thrives on it because we have such a good defense. And I really wonder if Pep is really thinking right now if they're going to play conservative or they're going to push us. Because I think if they really, push us, then who knows? Maybe Motta would recognize that, before. It would think, okay, you know what? They're going to do that. And then let's try to hit them on the counter or try to do something. And then you change some players around and maybe put like Mbangula. Because remember, we do have now players back. Douglas Luiz, if he comes back, if he comes in, Cambiasso is going to be on the bench. You got Azic as well. You have also Mbangula, that can make an impact, especially on that wing. The only player I think also that I think probably would. I mean, I'm not sure if he's injured. Is probably Doku. I'm not sure if he's injured for this game, but
I've got the injury news up now.
yeah.
I know a big one they're missing is Foden. Foden's going to be out illness wise.
Oh, that's a good sign. That's a good sign because
Yes.
I was also afraid of Foden because even though he hasn't been as convincing this season, he still I think would come up, in those big moments as well. But I think, like I said, if we could just close down De Bruyne, Haaland I think is gonna, I don't think he's gonna be, especially with our defense. We've seen it before, against Italian teams. I've noticed that Haaland doesn't do very well.
Against Inter as well this season.
Mm-hmm. So I think, especially with Gatti is not going to
Yeah.
let him out of his sights, man. And then also Kalulu as well. He's a beast. So, I just think that they're going to cause problems for him. But then I think it's also going to be, Thuram's job to get on, KDB, which is going to be a big one. And then, if Doku is probably the only person that probably scares me is because of his pace and his skill. He's very, very quick, but I think if Cambiaso comes into the game, Cambiaso can manage him really easily. But I don't think he's starting. It's gonna be Danilo, which Danilo hasn't been as very good this season. Savona has been not bad either. He closed down Kvaratskhelia in the Napoli game, which has been really impressive for him. But like I said, this right now in the beginning, I was like, you know what? I don't know if it's gonna be a 2-2 tie, but I would say, if we are gonna win this game, would be 1-0 Juve. If we are going to win.
1-0 to Juve.
Yeah, 1-0. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a tight game.
Defensively, you guys have shown you can be rock solid, bro. And as you rightly said, you look at Haaland, what Inter did, they got a good result out of it in the end, yeah. But defensively, you guys will be on point. You're at home. I can see it being a very, very tight game. I do agree with you there, man. And maybe you guys will just nick it, I can really see you guys doing Man City, man. They beat Forest 2 weeks ago, and people were saying, "Oh, here they go. This is where they're going to be back." But then you saw them last week. They dropped points again. They drew with Palace.
Mm-hmm.
So they're literally this season for them has been unbelievable. I think a big part of that is, as you rightly said, Rodri, bro. Like Rodri is an incredible player. He's a huge miss, clearly for Man City there. But I really think if your solid defense, you guys, and you can nick it towards the end maybe, or get a 1-0. I can see that happening, bro. I was so close to going with a draw. I think it'd be a really, really tight game. But I went 2-1 Juve, bro. I went 2-1 Juve. I think you guys will nick it, bro. I really do. So
yeah, no, 100%. And not just that, but Josh, if we do end up getting that goal in the last couple minutes, this Juventus side is gonna feel probably relieved that they finally got a win, and they're gonna bring up that confidence, Josh. I'm telling you, especially that's what gets a lot of teams going. Especially because of the 1-0. If it's going to be like a 1-0 game or like a 2-1 game, like in the final minute, they're going to really. I think that this Juventus, like I said, even in terms of the league, like I said, it's going to be step by step. But if we could beat City, it's definitely going to be a big one, because remember, and for the Inter fan Marcus in the chat, you guys couldn't even beat City, So hey, like I said, if we do end up beating City, that shows that we are a team that's going to be growing with a full squad, and we're going to be ready in the second part of the season as well in the Mercato, because there's going to be a lot in the market. It's going to be a lot in the market.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few predictions going around. I agree with you, Tristan. I've gone 2-1 as well. Jaden's got a 2-2 draw, which is fair as well. And big up, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in and leaving your thoughts in the comments as well. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very big game tomorrow. I'm going to go 2-1 to you guys, man. I'm going to go 2-1. So, yeah. Just wanted to obviously round up with two sort of points. Firstly, what is, as a Juve fan now, rest of the season, seeing how the season's gone so far, what sort of predictions-wise you're sort of feeling? I mean, can Juve go and win a trophy this season? And where do you really see you guys finishing in, obviously, Serie A and Champions League as well, and also obviously Coppa Italia.
It's big because you know, of the form, obviously. And you know, right now we are sitting in sixth. Scudetto is still there. We're still in the run for the Scudetto, but I'm not sure if we're going to win it this season. But we're going to be in contention. If we are going to I would say we're going to be probably top 3, top 2, maybe even top 4, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll probably be like my prediction for Serie A. Probably, if I want to have to say from the recent form that we had now, probably top 3. Probably top 3, top 4.
Top 3.
But if things start to come better in the second part of the season, then I want to say full Scudetto. You know, I want to say full Scudetto. Because the reason why I'm going to say that is because not just that, but if we should start winning and we don't even lose, I'm definitely going to say the Scudetto because, like I said, you know, it's going to remind me of that Xabi Alonso season, you know, because we're still undefeated, you know, even though in Europe we are not undefeated, but like I said, in the league, at least, you know, we are. So, you know, I think that's definitely going to be a big plus if we could do that. You know, Coppa Italia, I say that we make it to the final. I say that we make it to the final because of the teams that we are going to be playing. I think we can manage to make it to the final, win it. It all depends on the team that we come against.
Napoli got knocked out as well, didn't they, to Lazio?
Yeah, so that's a big loss. I mean, but here's the thing with Napoli is that, you know, they're playing one competition really, you know, and they just want to focus on the Scudetto and the Serie A. But yeah, no, I mean that's because that's Conte. You know, Conte just focuses on one competition and that's it. Which I think that's good in terms of, you know, like, but it's not always going to work out, and it's not going to work out this season. And I don't even think it's going to work out next season because, you know, I just think that Napoli, 1 or 2 injuries, they're not even going to be. And one thing about Conte, if he doesn't get the player that he wants, it's a fight with the management. That's why I didn't want Conte back at Juventus, because that's always what he done. You know, at Tottenham he did that. You know, even at Chelsea he did that as well.
Yeah.
You know, he did it at Juventus. You know, he did it even at Inter as well. He left them. You know, so like I said, Conte is a good manager. I'm not saying that he's not. I think, you know, he's also, you know, he was very part also of the history, and I know because that's what, you know, where I became a Juve fan at that as well. You know, so it's a big, you know, like I said, he's also always going to be in my heart. But I just think that it's just like I said, the winning spark. You know, I think after that Tottenham appointment, maybe he's gonna get that Tottenham a little bottle in him. So, you know, I just think that he's definitely gonna, you know, I think, you know, if I want to say that he's gonna finish, I say that he probably finishes 5th this season.
Okay, you think they have a mad fall off, a mad drop off?
I mean, we're seeing it now with Lazio, right? They lost 2 games in a row to them.
Yeah.
So that explains a lot, and not just that, but they lost 3-0 to Atalanta at home, at their home. So
Verona as well. Start the season, they beat them 3-0, didn't they?
Yep.
Crazy.
So I mean, you know, like I said, we're all fooled by the standings right now, but we could all see that Napoli has like 4 losses on the season now. Juventus has 1, and people are saying Motta out. That's what concerns me about some of the Juventus fans. So that's why I'm like, Juventus fans, calm down, because like I said, it's a progress. It's a progress, you know. And Conte, like I said, he's a 2-season manager. You know, he's a 2-season manager, or even maybe a 1-season manager, but he makes the team win. Yes, Chelsea fan, yes, he did take you guys to win, but you also remember, long term, you know, what happened to the season after that, right? Did you guys win? No. You had to wait until Sarri came in 2019 and won you the Europa League. So, you know, that's a big thing as well, you know, and then after that, you had to wait till, you know, Thomas Tuchel to win, you know, the Champions League for you guys. So like I said, Conte is that type of, you know, the type of coach to 2 to 3 years. That's it. Or even to 1 to 2. That's it. That's what he did with Inter, right? The first season he came runners up against us, got close to winning it. But then second season, he won. You know, but then he had a falling out with management, which I think is just not good. You know, that's why I didn't want him at Juventus for the second spell, because it's just going to remind me of the Allegri again. Because look how he's playing. If we're also talking about playing style, he's getting those wins, very, you know, not playing good football. It's like a disaster. You know, it's like, what am I watching? You know, it's like, what am I watching? You know, and I'm like, Juventus could even play better than that. So, 100%.
100. And just quickly, your Champions League prediction as well for you guys.
Yeah, Champions League. If we win against City tomorrow, definitely I would say that we definitely either go to the playoffs or the playoff round or whatever. I think it's like one playoff round. So
Yeah.
we go to the playoff round, or if we win all of our games, the rest of our games, we have a shot at top 8. That's what I say when we make it through. But I think we're gonna make it through either way. We're gonna make it to the round 16.
Is there, you get like round of 16, is there a team that you sort of fear in Champions League that you think don't really want to be facing them? Maybe like I mean, Liverpool, they're doing bits this season with Arne Slot. I mean, I would say Real Madrid because it's Real Madrid in Champions League, but they won tonight, but they've had a few inconsistent season in terms of Champions League. They've lost a few games here and there. But is there a team or teams that if you get last 16, that you maybe fear?
Yeah, no, Liverpool is definitely one. Leverkusen is another one because they're second now.
They beat Inter today, didn't they?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
man, I was watching that game. I was just like jumping up
loving it,
and
bro.
down. Oh man, I was just like, yes. but then I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing on Twitter. I'm not gonna say nothing on Twitter because I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait till tomorrow because if we win, it'll be 10 times better because they couldn't even beat Man City. So, that'll make it even 10 times better. Sorry, Marcus in the chat if you're watching. But don't worry, man. Like I said, we talk about everything, even on my channel. We talk about Inter, we talk about Milan, we talk about a lot of other stuff as well from the team. Like I said, it all takes no, but for sure, Leverkusen, Liverpool, even Barcelona. I have to say they've done very, very well under Hansi Flick this season, and the way that because I saw the Bayern game, I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Bayern is definitely I would say the medium side. I would say that's would cause some trouble. The other big team definitely probably would be. I could probably say I reckon you guys maybe
Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean I could say definitely Arsenal as well because I mean Arsenal
game though because like two similar managers, your
No,
manager.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean it could be a good game, like how Pep and Arteta. It could be like that type of game because I just think that both the same kind of philosophies. But I just think that you guys, I think once you guys click, especially you guys defeated PSG 2-0.
Yeah.
So like I said,
and Sporting as well, we battered them 5-1 away from home.
Yeah, Sporting too. And like I said, I think you guys are going to be there in the Champions League until probably the very end. At least I would say the quarters or semis.
Yeah,
for Arsenal.
It's been, as an Arsenal fan growing up, that's the thing that's been missing. It's getting over the line with the Champions League. I mean, 2006, the final against Barca, 15 minutes away from winning the whole thing, man, and 2-1. Didn't happen. But I feel like if we played each other in wherever it may be, it'd be a very, very both legs will be so tight, but exciting as well. I'd say because as you rightly said, two similar managers, so both of them. I think both games will be very tight. I don't actually know. I mean, if it happens, man, and it'd be good.
No, it would be good. It would be good for our channels because it would just be we'll be doing probably watch alongs together. Post game, pre game, we'll be doing everything because it's like I said, it's just gonna give us more content as well. And I love talking about Arsenal as well and talking about other teams because it's also. You could give my idea and opinion about other teams as well, and I said, I give credit when it's due. Like for example, for Inter last season, I think they deserved to win the title because they played very well. They were very well. They were very solid for the majority of the season. I just think that, like I said, when it credits due, credits due. Same thing with the Napoli season when they won, they deserved because they played very good football at the time. But now you see how they declined. With Conte, you're not going to get that Spalletti type of football. You're not going to get like a Motta type, like a Arteta type, like a Pep Guardiola type. You're going to get like it reminds me. Napoli reminds me of Juventus from last season. Win all the way to like January, and then they just lose a couple games, and it's over. And that's why I really think that this Napoli, like I said, if 1 or 2 injuries, I just think that Napoli are going to come 5th.
I hear it, man. I hear it. If they lose Cravadonna,
Yeah,
long for them, bro. Long
that's
for
true. Yeah,
But listen, Gio, man, it's been a pleasure, bro.
yeah.
I've really, really enjoyed it, man. Really enjoyed it. And of course, this will be the first of many upcoming shows, guys, man. So Gio, my friend, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much for the chat. It's very good to, get your own perspective as a Juve expert, as a Juve fan, to give your own opinions on your team, so I can I learn a lot more about your club and how Juve fans are feeling this season as well. And I've really enjoyed it, bro. If you want to shout your channel and what content you got coming up as well, my friend.
Yeah, sure. And also, Josh, thank you for having me on this channel as well. And we're gonna be doing a lot more content together, brother. Like I said, we're gonna be talking a lot more, even on the after stage as well. The after show, we're gonna talk a little bit more as well, because like I said, it's always good to have you as as well as a friend, and as a brother, as well, in terms of content creators, man, because this is what we do. We love to create content for you guys in the chat. We love to just do it to talk about calcio and football as well. We love to talk about it. And this is like I said, thank you for having me on. This has been a wonderful addition. I love this. I love the thumbnail. I love everything that you did, Josh, because that was masterclass. Love it. And the guys in the chat, even Marcus, I see Chelsea fan in there, Jaden as well. See other people in there as well. Forza Atalanta, como stai, my friend? Cooper as well. Cooper, I have to meet Cooper. I saw him on the other live stream as well.
He's from the States as well, man. Yeah,
I gotta meet him as well. He's a good guy. So definitely I would say that. Plasma, I see there. Jordan as well. Jordan's also come on my channel as well for my live streams. So big up to Jordan as well. He's always been in my chat as well. Same thing with Cooper as well. And yeah, no, 100%. We're gonna be doing a lot more content together. Like I said, if you want me to have on, I got you, because I'm actually off from college right now. So if you hit me up, you got me, because like I said, we could do more for City Obsessed as well. So I want to invite you on my channel as well. And the guys, like I said, if you do want to come watch, Juventus, Juve Cornercast, come to Juve Cornercast, guys. Come to our channel. We're actually at 534, 535 now subscribers. So guys, we're road to 600 and road to 1K. So guys, please come and check it out. Like I said, you guys, we're only doing it for you. We love doing this for you. And let's keep going, and lots of more content. Watch tomorrow. I'm doing a watch along on my channel for the City game for the first time on our channel. So it's gonna be a good one. And then we're gonna do a post game as well. And Josh, I'm actually gonna invite you on here if you do want to join. After the game, we'll do it. We'll do it like a post game as for. And I'm gonna be watching the Arsenal game too. So we could discuss about the tactics and how the games went. We could go one by one. We could go one by one.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it, man. Let's do it for sure. So
100%. Thank you for having me on.
Let's I mean, I'm gonna try and have it split screen. Yeah, I'll be doing the Arsenal game, and I'll have your game on in the background as well. Yeah. So I'm gonna watch both of them. Yeah, because I want to see you guys.
I'm gonna do. Yeah. I hope we win against Man City. I hope you guys win against Monaco, because Monaco has been playing not bad this season as well. So like I said, I think you guys are versing them at home, so I think you guys are definitely going to get the win. I think you guys are going to win 3-1. That's my prediction for you guys. That's my prediction for you guys.
Love it.
So 100%.
Man. Listen, bro, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure today. And listen, this is, as I said, first for many of you guys. Thanks to all the chat who tuned in today as well. Big up for all the likes as well. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be back, of course. On this channel, we'll obviously be doing. I want to obviously make more content in terms of doing maybe like predictions before every single game week. Doing sort of roundups as well, looking at all the other teams after every game week as well, and of course adding watch songs and match reviews on it, guys. So obviously it's Champions League weeks. I'll be back maybe Friday when the first CDR game is, and we can do it from the weekend there with watch longs and a few match reviews. So we'll see you guys there. Thank you guys so much, everyone who tuned in. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.